Today we're chatting with Michelle Armstrong, formerly Michelle Brown, alumni from the 2000 to 2006 period. She spent several years at Lululemon as the VP Global Merchandising, and she's going to share some interesting stories with us here today. Michelle, great to have you here with us. It's been a long time since chatted with you last.
Nice to see you too.
Tell us a bit about the career path you had since leaving PwC in 2006. You've got a long path in the last 10 years or more? Or
10 years.
10, 11 years?
Yeah, so I left PwC in 2006 in May and went to Lululemon, which was a new audit client for for PwC. And I was the director of finance there, and I stayed in that role until 2009. So 3 years through the IPO. Lots of fun. And then I left and moved into the world of product. And the goal with that at the time was that I was going to move around to different areas of the business and spend 18 months in each business and get groomed to be like a general manager. And I jumped into product and I never left.
Wow.
So I found something I was really passionate about. And so various roles throughout the product team. We grew a lot in those 10 years and landed as the VP of merchandising for most of the last 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So quite a shift from sort of the accounting side of things into a total non-accounting merchandise role. Pretty exciting. Lots of change.
Yeah, a lot of change. Although I used to joke with our CFO, John, that I probably dealt with more numbers than he did. I was dealing with them every day.
Well, so that leads me to one of my questions is what were the major differences in the work you did with PwC versus what you did with Lulu?
The number one difference going from public practice to industry is it was a real learning curve for me to get used to walking away from the concept of engagements and having closure and then moving on to the next engagement. And nothing is ever closed in a business. So I struggled for the first couple of years with work-life balance. I think the IPO might have had something to do with that. But I really struggled because I couldn't complete anything. And I had this real desire to get something completed. And I quickly realized, 18 months later, I realized that nothing gets completed in a business. So that was a big jump.
Would you say that your experience at PwC helped prepare you for any of this stuff? I mean, some of this is totally different than what you did at PwC, but was there anything that sort of helped you?
Oh, absolutely. I think it took a long time for me to realize how valuable my CA was. The first 3 years, obviously, it was invaluable being the director of finance and then taking on investor relations. And then I also took on strategy. And that, it just was a natural transition and it worked really, really, really well. But when I moved into the product team, I kind of left it and thought that I wasn't using it. And then as I grew in the product team and took on more of a leadership role and was working with a lot of our overseas partners and then working on business strategy, I quickly realized how much of what I learned at PwC I was actually using every day.
So you've got a new venture you're starting with yourself, and you mentioned a few of your colleagues. Maybe just tell us a bit about it. How did the opportunity present itself?
Yeah, so I myself, Shannon Savage, and Laura Loaki have started a company called Left on Friday. We just incorporated a week ago.
Wow.
So our website is launching in January 2018, and we will launch our product line, which is swimwear, in March of next year. So it was the company was really, I think, 3 of us that have worked together in the past at Lululemon have a really strong passion for bringing performance wear to something you can wear every day, and not just creating stuff in your closet.
So any advice you'd have for the next generation of leaders, given all your past experience? I mean, some great experiences.
Oh gosh, I think my biggest piece of advice is that no matter what you're doing, no matter who you are auditing or what role you're in or whether you're in tax pool, everything you learn you will use in your future. So there are times that I remember being in tax school and saying, God, I wish I would have listened to that. Like, why didn't I read a bit more about that? Because I could use it right now. And now I'm trying to figure it out on my own. So I would just say, like, never underestimate what you're learning when you're auditing accounts receivable.
Thank you very much, Michelle, for coming. It was great chatting with you. Loved hearing about your time at Lululemon, your new venture, and how PwC and your time at PwC wove in with all of that stuff. It was great. Thank you.